Good evening from the All Dog Network, worldwide All Dog Network. It's the WooF Ditty Show. I'm Bucky Harris, the WooF Ditty tonight. That's me. Sunday evening here, Pacific Standard Time, about 7 o'clock. And we hope we have a good turnout tonight. Yeah, we're playing a little intro music here. Get us in the groove. It's all sponsored by the WooF Driver, woofdriver.com. Check him out. He's our producer director, and we have many shows. This is just one of them. This is about the dog breeds. Every night we have a different breed, and tonight it's the Rottweiler. Debbie Singleton, hi. How are you again? Good to see you. She's one of our faithful watchers and listeners. So good to see you. The Rottweiler's featured tonight. Yeah, this guy. There he is. And we have a ditty for him tonight. His name is Roddy. Jenny's back with us. Good to see you. Good to see you. Yeah, we have Mr. Rottweiler there. We've got some cuties tonight. I mean, we've got, this is the Rottweiler. You know, there's he's looking for some action there already. Cincinnati, Jenny, yes, in Cincinnati. Like I said, Frisch's big boy. Hope you got him still. Betsy joined us tonight. Hello, good to see you. And we'll try to keep a list of the comments and posts coming in. Do we know who's there out there with us? If you have anything to ask us or say to us, let us know. It's Rottweiler Breed Night. And we've got some other treats for you tonight, which is some other music from the WooF Driver. We have some poetry about dogs. We have a kind of a long, kind of silly joke, but fun nonetheless, about the dogs, which is kind of a lesson joke about your best friend. So we're going to play these in a little bit here throughout the show. I'll play the ditty about Roddy, the white Rottweiler, which is kind of a tongue twister. And we're just going to have some fun tonight, as we usually do. I mean, we just try to have a fun and the love of our dogs, and, you know, that's what we're professing here. This is what it's all about. And we'll also tell you about, the other things that are important to those that may not know about how to find out what your DNA of your dog is. If you have a mixed breed or a mutt or whatever the case, you want to know what his genetics are, how to do that. How to use an application that's free that you can donate by just using it when you walk your dog and exercise your dog, called Walk for a Dog application, free download to iPhone or the Android. I'll tell you about that, how that works. We'll tell you about the Bike Springer again, which is an exercise device that you hook onto your bike if you want to run your dog or just walk him slowly next to you or whatever you want to do. Very interesting stuff. And I hope you all are having a great Sunday. So we're just going to continue on and talk about the protocol we have on the shows. Usually we talk about the facts of the breed and all these things as we go. And we break it up with the music and the ditties and have some fun with the jokes and poetry and stuff as we go. So talking about just the basic, this guy here.
Rottweiler. Rottweiler.
Rottweiler.
Rottweiler. Rottweiler.
That's the proper pronunciation, apparently.
Rottweiler. Rottweiler.
So you get that rot rather than Rottweiler.
Rottweiler.
Pretty neat. Another thing to know. Just a thing, not a big deal. Anyway, whatever the case, a description of a Rottweiler as a muscular and massive, powerful body. His head is broad with a rounded forehead. The muzzle is well developed. His teeth meet in a scissors bite. The nose is wide, is black. The lips are black, and the inside of the mouth is dark. The medium-sized eyes are dark and almond-shaped. Some Rottweilers have been known to have blue eyes, and one blue eye and one brown eye. This is a trait not, again, recognized in the show world, because this does not meet the breed's standards according to the American Kennel Clubs and so forth. There's a little mug shot of this guy. Yeah, they're very sweet. There's one that wants to take off. And usually you see their tails are docked or clipped. He doesn't have any opinion. He's just chilling out there. He's a cutie little puppy. And we'll keep showing you pictures as we go through this. The tail is customarily docked, like I said, noting docking tails is illegal in most parts of Europe. Rear declaws are also removed. The chest is broad and deep. The coat is short, hard, and thick. It is black with rust to mahogany markings on the cheeks, muzzle, paws, and legs. A red color with brown markings also exists. There's a deficiency in the hair gene that makes the hair coloring a lighter red. That's interesting. The German Rottweiler versus American Rottweiler. Some claim there are variations of the Rotties, the German Rottweiler and the American Rottweiler. The German Rottweilers are said to be shorter, stockier, and have a bigger, blockier head, while the American Rotties are said to be taller and leggier without as blocky a head. So, you know, this is another guy there on his leash. He's raring to go. They're just beautiful. And the German is one born in Germany, and American is born in America. In any case, there are breeders breeding for the German Rottweiler look of larger and blockier, while the others are breeding for the American Rottweiler look less blocky. Okay, and we're going to get into the temperament. Betsy says beautiful dogs. Yes, Pat, my friend Pat Cushwa has joined us for the show, checking out the scene here. We had a good time yesterday going guitar shopping. Guitars, dogs. We love our dogs. And we didn't get Pudgeons on last night. It's his Boston Terrier, so cute. We tried to, but it was, I think, we got out of time there. And it was a little, but we're going to do it sometime, feature him. In the meantime, this is the little ditty about Roddy the Rottweiler.
Roddy, the Roddy Rottweiler, I let him guard my little sister. She calls him Roddy, the Roddy Rottweiler. Boy, now that's a tongue twister. Yeah, he's a brave, confident, A-plus guard dog who needs vigorous workout, not just a mere walk around. Let's Roddy the Rottweiler.
Some extra exercise.
Roddy the Rottweiler. Now say it till your tongue gets twisted. Roddy the Rottweiler. Roddy the Rottweiler. Say it now. Roddy the Rottweiler. Roddy the Rottweiler. Roddy the Rottweiler. Roddy the Rottweiler.
Little tongue twister
Now
there.
Roddy is descended from powerful mastiff breed.
Mastiff breed. Powerful.
That in medieval times guarded the castles when the army would lead.
Army will lead, he guard this castle, he's so strong.
A most trustworthy companion is the Roddy Rottweiler. Roddy Rottweiler. Roddy was trained early and allowed for social lines. This kept him in check, his protective drive to keep the burglars out, but at the same time let our friends in the gate. And when I say it's fine, we're talking about now Roddy the Rottweiler. I let him guard my little sister. She calls him Roddy the Rottweiler. Boy, now that's a tongue twister. Roddy the Rottweiler. Roddy the Rottweiler. Roddy the Rottweiler.
Okay, Roddy the Rottweiler. I can't even say it. But, you know, he's so gentle that he'd let him guard his little sister. Maria's here. Hi, Maria Pereira. Good to see you. Are you new to the show? If you are, where are you from? And what kind of dog do you have? It's all good. It's all good. The temperament of the Rottie is powerful, calm, trainable, courageous, and devoted to its owner and family, loyal and protective. It will defend its family fiercely if needed. Like he said, he stands at the gate, and he knows who's friendly, who's not, and let him in. You know what I mean? He's seemingly immune to pain, serious, even-tempered, brave, confident, and courageous. This breed needs an owner who is strong-minded, calm, but firm and able to handle his massive size. But the Roddy is actually sweet, docile, natural guard dog with laid-back, reliable temperament. It is highly intelligent and has proven its worth beyond question in the police, military, and customs work over many centuries, and can be trained for competitive obedience. But because of its size, training should begin when the dog is a small puppy, which is we found in most cases. Gazi, I love your smile. Thank you. Thank you. I try to smile. It's all good, There's nothing bad going on these days, and especially if you have your dogs to love. End of that story. It works, A couple things you probably do. Read the Bible and love your dogs. I mean, you can't go wrong. A couple other things. Play some music if you're a musician, or learn how to play something. That helps. These are all just good things, There's nothing bad. The breed needs lots of leadership and socialization. It will not be happy confined to a kennel or backyard. Nah. It needs to get out and do it. The objective in training this dog is to achieve the pack leader status. Okay, it's a natural instinct for a dog to have an order in its pack. We're first, it's second. Okay? When we humans live with dogs, we become their pack. The entire pack cooperates under a single leader. Lines are clearly defined and rules are set. You and all other humans must be higher up in the order than the dog, or else we all know we have behavioral problems. How old is Roddy? Or how old is... Oh, what kind of dog do you recommend for a little girl? Wow. My daughter likes to have one. Well, I'm not the expert on that, frankly. I mean, but I would do this. If you haven't joined us before, there's a gentleman on with another show like this on the All Dog Network. His name is Dean Miller, and he has the Dog Counselor Show. So if you go to alldognetwork.com and under host, all of us are there, the correspondents, look up Dean Miller, click on his stuff, you'll watch his shows, and then he has an email, Dean at dogcounselor.com, where you can get in touch with him via email and ask him some questions and watch his show and interact with him on his show when he comes on. And he'll tell you when he's on the previous shows, and check him out, because he can probably give you a recommendation better than I could of what might be the number 1, 2, 3 choices, perhaps, when it comes to that. Okay? And Betsy, I'm trying to, how old? I'm not sure exactly. Oh, how old's the little girl? She's asking you, I see. Okay. I don't know. You haven't answered, but maybe Betsy has an idea for you. Gazi. I hope I pronounced your names right. Forgive me if I'm not. I'm not real smart when it comes to any stuff like that. We're just guessing, but it's all good. WooF Driver just came on. He's our director, and he's keeping tabs on what's going on in the show here. And hi, WooF Ditty. Hello, WooF Driver. WooF Driver to WooF Ditty. WooF Ditty to WooF Driver. Over and out. Okay, we're going to have a great show. We just like to have a good time every night. We do this 7 nights a week. Sunday we do it a little earlier at 7 here, just because Sunday evening people like to get prepared for the first of the week. So as we were saying, the only way your relationship can be an success with any dog really is if you're the human, you're the head of the pack. Okay, you train him properly. And these trainers on the Dog Counselor and Joey Falcone show, both on the All Dog Network, sponsored by the WooF Driver here, can greatly help you with all this stuff. I mean, greatly. Can you call me Amy? I can call you Amy. Does that work for you? That's perfect. Amy. I like it. Makes it easier trying to pronounce your name. Okay. Amy has got the daughter, and she's 6 years old. And You know, I mean, it depends on how you train your dog, you know what I mean? If you get the dog right away, and you know, even if they're not a puppy, I mean, if they're well behaved already, but if they're a puppy, it's easy. I mean, my Buster, he's a big guy, he's very energetic, and my grandkids, I mean, they're like, you know, they met him when they were babies, and they just love him. I mean, they're all just not a problem. He watches over them. He goes swimming, he's like a lifeguard watching them every second. It's amazing how they know. And when they're here staying over, one's sleeping on the couch here, one's sleeping in the bed here. He's right between in the hall laying there. Just make sure he's got tabs on everybody. The same with us. If we're separated in the house, he's in the middle. If we're both in the same room, he's there with us. I mean, they know what to do. So, you know, you can trust them if you train them right. So, again, consult on the show, the dog counselor or Joseph, for that matter, or any of the other correspondents. Britt, on her WooF News show, she has 1 million animals and plus chickens, and she knows cats. And then the other gals that are working with the WooF driver correspondents, Barbara Kurtman, and Carol Anderson, both have great shows about connecting with your dog psychically. Just good stuff, good stuff. So let's move on here and finish up this section here. When the Rottweiler receives consistent leadership and is trained, it will be a good playmate for the children. It will accept cats, other dogs, and other household pets as long as the dog has been socialized well and its owners who assert their authority over the dog. Friends and relatives of the family are normally enthusiastically welcome, and strangers from whom the dog senses bad intentions can get no further than the sidewalk. You gotta love it. Hello, how are you, Janice Nichols? Yes, I'm great. Nothing to complain about. As long as I can get up and do this, I'm good. As long as my dog gets up, he's healthy, wealthy, my wife, my kids, it's all good. But these dogs give you so much enlightenment, all of them. So that's the case there. The height of these Rottweilers, actually, once again,
Rottweiler. Rottweiler. Rottweiler.
Get that rot. All right. Well, Amy, it really depends on how active you are and what kind of dogs you like and what size you have room for. Betsy answers, which is a great overall, concise answer in general, for sure. You got that, Amy, right? And you can probably see these posts as well, I believe, when you're watching the show. Just like Jay Leno, got to have a little Java. It's all good. And once again, the size, 2 feet to 24 to 27 inches. Males, females are always a couple inches shorter, 22, 25. In most cases, that's what we're getting in the reads on the heights of these. The weight, 95 to 130. Females, 85 to 115. And once again, if you feed them properly and the size that they've developed to be overall. Living conditions, they want to do okay in an apartment if it's just, again, with sufficient exercise. It's just a no-brainer. These dogs are relatively inactive indoors. They're big, and a small yard will be sufficient, at least. But, you have a small dog and just yap and run around the apartment and plenty of exercise. They're small. They got room. They can do it. Big ones cannot. Okay. We're going to shift gears just for a minute before we get back to a couple of things other about the Roddy. Okay. Talk about his origin and all that kind of thing, and a couple other facts, which are our normal protocol of how we go through the breed description of the breed of the night, which in this case is a Rottweiler. I just played that ditty. I'll play that again in a few minutes. Meanwhile, we're going to shift gears, and we're going to do a quick joke. Now this one's, it's a little long, but it's got a little meaning, so I hope you enjoy it.
When you're down, I heard one there about the man and his dog. They was walking along a road. The man was enjoying the walk, and it suddenly occurred to him that he was dead. Thinking, he remembered dying and that the dog had been dead for years. He wondered where the road was leading him. After a while, they came to a high white stone wall on one side of the road. It looked like fine marble. At the top of a long hill, it was broken by a tall arch that glowed in the sunlight. When he was standing there before it, he saw a magnificent gate at the arch that looked like mother of pearl. And a street that led to the gate looked like pure gold. He and the dog walked toward the gate, and as he got closer, he saw a man at the desk on one side. He was close enough, he called out, "Excuse me, where are we?" "This is heaven," the man answered. "Wow. You wouldn't happen to have some water?" the man asked. "Well, of course, sir. Come right in and I'll have some ice water brought right up." The man gestured and the gate began to open. "Can my friend," gesturing toward his dog, "come in too?" Travel asked. "I'm sorry, but we do not accept pets." The man thought a moment, then he turned back toward the road and he continued the way he had been going. He was hurt. After a long walk at the top of another long hill, he came to a dirt road which led him through a farm gate that looked as if it had never been opened before. There was no fence. As he approached the gate, he saw a man inside leaning against a tree and reading a book. "Excuse me," he called to the reader. "Do you have any water?" "Yeah, sure, there's a pump over there." The man pointed to a place that couldn't be seen from outside the gate. "Come on in. How about my friend here?" The traveler gestured to his dog. "Well, there should be a bowl by the pump." They went through the gate, and sure enough, there was an old-fashioned hand pump with a bowl beside it. The traveler filled the bowl, took a long drink himself, then he gave some to the dog. When they were full, he and the dog walked back toward the man who was standing by the road waiting for him. He said, "What do you call this place?" Traveler asked. "This is heaven," was the answer. "Well, that's confusion," the traveler said. "Man down the road, he said that there was heaven too." "Oh, you mean the place with the gold street and the pearly gates?" "Nope, that's hell." "Doesn't it make you mad for them to use your name like that?" "No, I can see how you might think so, but we're just happy they screen out the folks who leave their best friends behind."
There you go. A little lesson. You know, they wouldn't let the dog in the pearly gates down there. So. No, I turned that sideways because I thought the microphone might be blocked. And if you can hear me okay, just say okay, and I won't do that. It did that with the phone the other night when I used the iPhone because the mic's on the bottom. And it was muffling out and people couldn't hear me. So I just want to make sure you can hear everything. Give me a thumbs up if you can hear everything. Anybody? If you could, if there's a problem with the sound, please let me know. Okay, that was our little kind of funny. It's okay. Thank you, Debbie. Right now, I'm going to play a song. I got a couple of things from the WooF Driver. Now, WooF Driver is our sponsor, okay? And he's created this whole live streaming show called the All Dog Network. AllDogNetwork.com is where we post all the videos that we're doing live here, all of our correspondents that have the different shows that we talked about. I also failed to mention there's a Doga show, a dog yoga show that comes on. Susie Titleman has that show. That's another one. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There's 6 shows. So Amy, Betsy, I'm going to interlude here. So Amy, how much time do you spend with your pup? Look up things about every breed you like best and make a decision. How much would you like to spend on buying your dog or go to a shelter? Seymour, it disappeared. Okay. Betsy thought that was a good idea. Well, you know, again, we talked last night. We were talking about breeders versus rescues. You know, I mean, if you can go to a shelter and get a rescue rather than go buy a dog from a breeder, you know, the numbers are not in their favor. So that's a good idea. We have a rescue. Buster's a rescue. Most everybody I talk to is a rescue. You know, unless you have to get a purebred that you just have to have, you know, like anything else. I mean, that's up to you, of course, and go from there. So this WooF Driver music that lends itself to all the things the WooF Driver has come up with in his mind over his lifetime. He wanted to put these ideas and words and thoughts and stories to music. So he contracted the WooF Play Band, which I helped produce that. And over the last more than almost a decade now, it seems like, we've been doing this, and we've got this library, and it's all posted at wooftunes.com. Audio, video, poetry, rap, every kind of music you can think of about the dogs. A bunch of parodies as well from different artists you'll recognize. It's just fun stuff to listen to. So you need to go to wooftunes.com and just start clicking around and listen. Okay? And I'm going to play one right now we did very first. Now, I don't know if y'all remember this this particular song, but it was one of those, well, you probably didn't hear it because this is when I was like real little. But it was about a guy driving a semi-truck, big wheeler, 10-4, good buddy, that kind of thing, and going out on the road. And this is, it was called the Convoy or something like that, but this is about the WooF Voy. And this is about the WooF driver taking his pack of huskies out on a journey. Okay, and he runs into a situation, and it's just a fun little ditty here, so to speak, about him going out. It's called WooF Joy.
Yeah, 10-4, good buddy. This here's a WooF driver. You got a copy on me? Come on. I got a copy on you, WooF driver. This here's the Flying Eagle. My golly, we're riding, and it's clear, clean here to Yukon. Come on. That's a big 10-4, Flying Eagle. We definitely got a big rig, and we got all the speed alive, and it looks like we got a WooF boy.
Was Aurora Sky on that leg of the ride in the sled hauling ahead on the lookout for any of those moose hideouts. We saw a moose on the loose and about a quarter way on the checkpoint number 28. Hey, Flying Eagle, we got us a moose on them, run them up. Don't let them rough you up. I copy that, WooF driver.
Hey, Flying Eagle. Good thing you ain't bringing no beagles on you, Dave. Won't even sense that Arctic fox as he trots along the fence.
Hi, Suzanne.
Watch it. Watch it.
By this time we got behind and the pack started to slack, so we took about a break on trail number 8. We rested in water and headed out to the next route. We're back running strong and ready to face anything that might come along.
Run those hounds all over the USA.
You're flying, Eagle. You want to give me your 10-9 on your ride. Hey, we'll probably always ride along Bear Creek right towards the east. Watch for the bears. They love this cold air. Get a first line, Eagle. We're going to put them paws in the ground and get a hauling ass and knee on pretty fast.
So we rocked and rolled down the trail like we had our fire in our tails. We tore through them checkpoint stops like there were no cops. We're running lean and mean just like the dream our herd is going to meet that Flying Eagle bird.
Watch out for those bears.
Recognize what's 440 WooF driver? What's 40 WooF driver? We're approaching mark rate 75, moving real fine, should be close to the rate fast. I got you, WooF driver. You're about a mile behind, but in that pace, you'll be there in our space. Right there in first place, probably win this race. Don't look now, but I'm inspecting door, Flying Eagle. Let's keep this moving and bring some limits, kitty.
By the time we rolled to the finish line, we left them all them mothers behind. We went for broke, smoke, the road, as WooF driver drove his boys to victory. What a sight to see, all those tails wagging in glee. Oh yeah, we did it, rung the bell because the team just gelled. WooF driver didn't even have to yell. Yeah, we came all mushers and truckers, feel, but it was all good fun because all was love. Them hounds run, 10-4, good buddy.
So they were running a race, you see, with other packs, and there was this route they were taking. Let WooF drivers show you the way to let the dogs run. WooF Joy. Looking out for the bears and the moose, hauling around. Picture them. Mushing. So it's another little thing, the adventure of the WooF driver taking these guys out in these different courses and stuff. I mean, it just goes on and on. Okay? And just back to that Roddy for a minute. This guy here. There he is. Roddy the Rottweiler. Here's a litter of these babies. You know. There's some cutie pies. There's a stance. Now our Buster, our vet, thought that maybe he had some Rottweiler on him because he kind of looks just like that, only instead of the reddish brown there, he has brindle. And this one doesn't have a docked tail either, which is unusual. The one, the picture there. And there's a cute little puppo. Look at this guy. Cute as he. Sitting in the meadow, minding his own business. The life expectancy, once again, 10 to 12 years. A little shy of the, maybe 12 to 16 of some of them, like the shepherd. The large litters, though, they can have 10 to 12 puppies. Our Buster, which is half boxer and half shepherd, he was the last of the litter of 12, we understand. So that was a large litter, and he's like a 70 to 75 pound guy. Okay. A little bit about the grooming. Of course, the smooth, glossy coat is easy to groom. You brush with a firm bristle when you need to, and bathe only when necessary. Is average shedder. Why do they dock tails? Well, I know on the Spaniel, Cocker Spaniels, when we did that show, it was said that the reason they docked their tails, and that's a good question, Betsy, about the Rottweiler, but the reason they did the Spaniels is because they used to hunt small game and stuff, okay, and they'd run through the brush, and all kinds of brush, with berries and barb and thorns and whatever, and they'd injure their tails getting caught in the stuff because they're so low, and so they dock them. Most of them, all of them that I've seen, Cocker Spaniels. So as far as the Rottweiler, that'd be a good question. I'd have to look that up for sure. Why do they dock the tails on a Rottweiler? It's probably on there somewhere. So maybe if we have a time here, we'll try to answer that question. Or you can just, Google and ask that question. Somebody will have some kind of answer on some kind of blog, I'm sure, if you don't mind doing that, so we can continue here. I'm not trying to put that out of the question, but it's a great question. But that was the reason for the Cockers. Maybe it's the same for these guys, when they if they're running through the wood. It could be, not sure. But in that case, they dock every dog's tail because they all run through brush occasionally here and there. So we'll figure it out together. Let's do that. Okay. Origin. The Rottweiler, the pronunciation again.
Rottweiler. Rottweiler.
Rottweiler. Make sure we get the T in there. Rottweiler is probably descended from the Italian Mastiff, which accompanied the herds that Romans brought with them when they invaded Europe. During the Middle Ages, it was used as a herder, as a guard, a messenger dog, draught for and police work. Well, if it's a herd and it's herding and going in the brush and stuff, it could be the reason as well. They're out there a lot where they could get their tail entangled in a cut or herd, which you don't want to do. And then infections and stuff. It was bred in Germantown, in the German town of Rottweiler, Württemberg. The German Rottweiler. Practically instinct in the 1800s, the breed population became a comeback in the early 20th century due to the efforts of enthusiastic breeders centered in Stuttgart. In Germany, January 13, 1907, the Deutscher Rottweiler Club, the German Rottweiler Club, was established. And shortly after that, in 1907, in April 27, the Süddeutscher Rottweiler Club in South German was formed and later became the International Rottweiler Club. The Rottweiler standard was then set. The breed was first recognized by the American Kennel Club in 1931. Some of the Rott's talents include tracking, herding, watchdog, guarding, search and rescue, guide dogs for the blind, police work, carting, and competitive obedience. Okay. That's about that. Okay, about this guy. Where do you go? How does it do that? Look at these guys. They're just too cute. Oh, he's a pug, so I can get on there. I got this internet messed up. Yeah, I'm on the wrong thing here. So we know what Rottweilers look like. Now, what we have to offer here tonight for a little more variety is some more music and fun. We did the joke. Now we're going to do a poetry read, then we're going to play a couple of tunes, okay, another tune. But this little poetry is about old dog, new tricks, and this is just some fun stuff.
Old dog, new tricks. Chewy was old. He'd seen more than a decade. But that old boy loved to learn new tricks. His mama moved him across a whole nation from Atlanta to Seattle Sound. Such different ethnics. But Chewy loved where he was, whatever that be. He didn't complain. He just loved the new scenery. Sniffing and smelling the new salty air. New sights, new sounds, new dog parks to dirty his belly. Loved it he did, the walks on the beach, the market where men gave him food. It was life as he always knew it should be. And one day confirmed, these people understood. For down at the market, a man gave him a fish head. His mama laughed as Chewy took it with reverence. Then they strolled home since he refused to eat it. She laughed all the way, and he awaited a brief little severance. When they got home, he let her know he wanted out back. She laughed and said, "Go to it, my boy." With that, she opened the little gate. Chewy trotted on through, then looked at her coy. She stared and he waited. Finally, she got the hint. He wanted a moment all to himself, so she headed inside to collect her new mint. From the window, she watched him. He looked all around. He sniffed the garden, the flowers, the trees. Then finally he settled on one spot on the ground. His digging was slow, deliberate, with care. From the window, Mama filmed him as he sought to bury a fish head. He had never done this before, but now he was through. There was no need to hurry. When he started moving about in the yard, Mama popped out and invited him in. She patted his head, so he learned a new trick. He wagged his fuzzy tail and gave her a grin.
There you go. I'm trying to see here about the tails, and same with Dobermans. Well, here's an answer. I don't know if this means anything. It is all just aesthetics, or there is a good reason behind it. I see no reason to put an animal into pain and discomfort just because that's how they're supposed to look. And of course, there must be some pain if you have surgery on any part of the body. So that really wasn't the answer. Best answer. Originally, tail docking was done to prevent injury to the tail for many working breeds, like we said about that cocker. Or spaniel, yeah, the cocker spaniel. It is typically done very early when they are puppies. You know what I mean? Just like other things. For dogs who are not working dogs, yes, it is done because it is how the breed standard is set. And that's kind of like, if it hurts them, whatever, you can argue that. Who sets those standards, these clubs, you know, and I'm sure I agree with all that. Supposedly the pain receptors have not fully developed in the dog's tails when done this early, and they feel very little pain. I'm not certain of this as I'm not a breeder or a vet. I couldn't honestly tell you that it's a true fact or something that people tell themselves to remove the guilt. Oh, man, it's a good one. So, it's kind of like for what we're talking about, working dogs, when they're doing things where they could injure their tail, perhaps, but I don't want to go into it anymore because it's something I don't want to think about because of the pain, they have to go through one way or the other. Puppies got to scream. I mean, come on. But let's keep it. We're not the guys doing it, but that's a good question. But I would say the answer would be so they don't injure their tails under circumstances which they might inherently have in their nature to do, which would be, hunting, searching, going through places out of nowhere, jumping and running, chasing something through nasty thorns and rose bushes and who knows what. But that's the most logical way I see it. Now, we're going to shift gears once again. Now, we have this song from the WooF driver. Now, this, you have to understand here about the WooF driver, if you're not familiar with this guy, okay, what he does with his pack of huskies. They go out on these adventures, okay, that if you've looked at his videos on All Dog Network, Betsy sounds good, okay, sounds, we're just getting logical answers here for now. We'll do more research, we can find deeper reasons perhaps. But he goes out on these adventures like almost every day. Maybe off on the weekends to spend family time because there's got to be time for the family, so they're real people, humans too. Although the wolf pack are real people and humans too, as far as the dog wolf driver's concerned. And before, we treat Buster like family, same thing. And everybody does. They love their dogs, those that really love their dogs. So when he goes out on these adventures, okay, there's a lot going on here. He can't do it all himself with 2 hands and 4 dogs. So he has this crew of people that he has working with him that are dear friends that have been around a long time. And there could be 1, 2, or 3, or maybe up to 4, I don't know how many, of what they call the WooF driver crew. And they do different functions. Just like in your company, you have an IT person that takes care of your internet technology and your computers. You have the salespeople, take care of the sales of whatever you're selling. You got the marketing people to market that product so the salespeople can go see these people who are interested. You got all these people. And you got PR, people that are taking the pictures of everything and they're putting it together for advertising. So you got all these elements. Well, he has the same thing in his crew. He has these gentlemen that go out and they photographer, they help them unload the gear, pack up the gear. They got a mechanic who fixes the gear should they break down on the road. People who take care of the dogs when he has to take care of something or watching over them, and so forth and so on. A complete crew. Complete crew. And it's called the WooF driver crew. Okay? And he wrote these lyrics about these people, and we put it again into another tune. And I'm going to play that for you right now, and you're going to hear names of people and what they do, and it's quite interesting stuff.